Hi there, Brainwash. This is the Heretic coming at you today. Oh, bring it. These Christians out here, they love living in this culture. And you've heard my wife rant about it, I think, because she made a video. Oh, we had a video with her ranting on my daughter's face up in the camera. But what I want to talk to you today is we as Christians are supposed to be a beacon. We're supposed to shine our light. We're not supposed to hide it under a bushel, but we're supposed to put it on a lampstand so that we can share our light with everybody. Now, in doing so, this causes some problems. People that live in darkness do not like to be exposed to the light because then their ugliness can be shown. They get to see all their unrighteousness on display for everyone. And nobody wants to see their unrighteousness. And so they would prefer to live in darkness. Now, if you shine your light before people, you are going to get persecuted. And this is why people will not shine their light, because they do not want to receive persecution. They do not want to be separated. But you have to realize you cannot serve both God and mammon. Either you love one and despise the other. So you have to pick. Either I'm going to follow God's will, or I'm going to follow man's will. And that's the problem. This is the crux of the matter, is that you want to shine your light before men. You have to, if you want God's blessings. Problem is, the devil now realizes that you're an enemy and he's going to come after you. And that's why blessed are the persecuted. Know that if they hated you, they hated me first. So, now, this is in reference to how to separate yourself. And I'm going to tell you these things. If you do these things, you will be separated and it will cause you, actually not as much flack as you think it will, but it will. It'll cause you some. And the more you do, the more flack you're probably going to receive. But it's not going to be as bad as you think. Now, there are scriptures in the Old Testament that tell you how to wear, like the talit. Okay, it says that you're supposed to wear a garment with a fringe of blue. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what it says to wear. That is one way you can separate yourself from God, or for God. Separate yourself from the world for God. Don't trust in the Lord with all thy heart, lean not in your understanding. Put God first. This will make the separation easy. Now, for women, you see men wear the talit. Women have a head covering that they can wear over their hair. Cover up all their hair from here, like this. Oh, not with their arms, because that would just be really awkward. But yeah, no, I'm talking about the cloth. Pull back. See, I did it with my arms again. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I digress. You can also, and then there's another thing is that, and this is something I'm having a hard time with, is there's feast days. And if we do the feast days and we stop doing all the holidays, the pagan holidays, we avoid the pagan holidays, we do all the Jewish feast days, we live by the Sabbath, we start, if we start doing these things, we will start to separate ourselves from the world. Taking the Sabbath seriously, no work, no servile work, day of rest, keeping it holy. I don't know if you realize this, but I try and do as many videos on the Sabbath. I do all my videos on the Sabbath because that's my holy day, and that's the day I try to keep focused on God. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. Women, dress modestly. There's a whole thing in Timothy about how to dress modestly. I've done like many, if you look down, or actually, I think it's, well, if you look up, just look up on my channel and you'll see a whole bunch of videos on modesty. And especially, I think the current one has like the best stuff. Like, I think it's modest apparel versus the garments of a harlot or something like that. The apparel of a harlot. Anyway, attire of a harlot or something like that. Anyway, but it goes into great detail about what you can do as a woman to separate yourself for God. Men, you're not supposed to round the corners of your head nor mar the corners of your beard. That's another way you can separate yourself for God. I mean, there's visual, things that people can see. We are supposed to be this beacon. We are supposed to be this light. Jesus Christ said, I have not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. He fulfilled the prophecies of the coming Redeemer. But the law is still in effect, people. It is still in effect, and it is the law that separates the biblical culture from the worldly culture. That is the law. The law, that's the whole purpose of the law. Don't eat pork. Don't eat shrimp. Don't eat anything that's a bottom feeder. Don't, follow all of the law. That will separate you that will separate you from the world. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is where we need to be going at, people, is that, that's our issue, is that we need to separate ourselves, that we have to focus on God. You cannot serve both God and mammon, and so we need to say, you know what, I'm putting God's will first. He's going to be my priority. He's going to be my focus. And you know what, if I lose my job, oh well, because I can't work on Saturday. I can't work on Friday nights. As soon as the sun goes down, I'm off, baby. That's something you have to do. So you do it. Across the board, if you start doing the physical things in this, you'll start to see a spiritual separation from the rest of the world, and people will see you and like, wow, you are different than I am. And that's the whole point. We're not supposed to be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that renewing of your mind is in reference to renewing your mind to the Bible, renewing your mind to Scripture, applying Scripture to your life. Anyway, I hope this makes sense to you. I'm the Heretic. Peace. That's the moon, but it's hugely blurry.
Let me see one once. Let me see it. Let me see one picture.
That's the moon.